Welcome to the Hoodoo and Chill podcast, the #1 hoodoo and spirituality-based podcast bringing awareness to African American spirituality in a wide range of thought-provoking topics. I am Papa Seer, your host, your narrator, and your storyteller. Before the show begins, make sure you're subscribed or following the show so you don't miss out on any episodes. And as always, donations of love keep our podcast alive and give us the ability to upgrade the show, enhance our content, and most importantly, do what we love. You can use any link in the description to send your donation of love today. Now, let's start the show. Come gather around. Let me tell you about one time this young man, John who could conquer. They call him John the Conqueror. He's going out hunting for a labor, but he's hunting the devil. He expects to get some work with him, but there's no wagon to ride there. You see, you have to find the witch lady. So he did. He found her. She had this giant bird, call him a great big kind of eagle. How much it cost to ride? John the Conqueror asked the witch lady. Cost you meat, she told him. How much meat, he says. And she says, beef. Beef in quarters. Maybe 3/4 beef. That much, he says. And she says, when my giant eagle lets a screeching, you give him 1/4 beef. So he did. John got on, paid the meat, and the eagle took off, rising, flipping his wings. John held on to the biggest feather he could. Big as a pine tree it was. Eagle just flew and flew. 10 mile, 100, 1,000 miles. That eagle let out a screeching. And John the Conqueror takes up his sack of beef. He gets 1/4, tosses it to the eagle. Eagle catches it right in his beak. Another 1,000 miles. Eagle lets out a mighty screeching noise big as a cloud. John gets the sack, gives him another 1/4 beef. Eagle is full up. He flies and flies maybe 2,000 miles now. And then he comes swooping low, and then he lands. John the Conqueror quit hanging from the pin feather and then letting go. He's down on the ground now. There she is, standing right there, the devil's daughter. John says to her, I'm hunting some work with the devil. Have you seen him? He's not a bit scared of her. Oh, well, she says, the devil is my daddy. He'll give you a labor, but don't you take it. You see, others have come for work, and he's killed them. John asks, well, why? And the devil daughter tells him, because none of them could do it. They couldn't do the work he give them. Is that so? Says John. Says, well, I have to find some work. Well, she says, if you have to, then you just do what he says. Just try to do it. Will you help me out? Asked John. He was seeing how pretty she was. I'll help you, she said and smiled at him. She saw he was some handsome. So she taking him to her father, says to the devil, says, Daddy, I brought this one to meet you. Name of John. He's looking for a labor. Devil says to Big John, all right, here's some work. First thing in the morning, you clear me some land. I want 60 acres. Don't take all day, just half a day. Make sure the trees is cut. Don't leave them. So Big John the Conqueror is up and out the next day without any breakfast. It's way early. He wants to get a head start. He cuts 1 or 2 big trees by 10 o'clock. He's got acres to go. The devil daughter comes out there right by where he's working. She feels sorry for poor John. He's way behind. He'll never make 2 days, she thinks, let alone half a day. She says, John, give me that hatchet. So he does. And she shows him a thing or two. She picks up the hatchet and she talks to the hatchet. Says to the hatchet, let 1 tree fall, all will fall. Trim 1 limb, trim all. Burn 1 branch, burn all. The 60 acres is now cut, on fire, and burned up in a second. Nothing is left to bother the eye, smoothing its looking over the land. Then the daughter goes off. The devil comes out to see what John the Conqueror has done. Did you do my work the way I asked? The devil asks him. It got done, John the Conqueror says. Now that wasn't a lie. Devil nods. Not bad. Pretty good, he says. Now in the morning, you go plow that 60 acres. You go plant it. I want some roasting ears, good and sweet, for my meal tomorrow night. John gets up way early in the morning. He hitches the horses and plows up straight rows. But it's after 11, and he hasn't plowed 10 acres yet. Devil's daughter is there. Brings John a jug of water for his thirst. He drinks all of it. He was quite thirsty. She says to him, I'll plow it for you. She's got her eye on him, struck on him. She picks up that plow, brings it to her lips and says, plow 1 row, plow all. Plant a kernel, plant all. Corn grow high over my head. Now, she says to John, pick yourself some good corn ears for my daddy, the devil. So he does. Now the daughter knows the father is going to kill John anyhow, because John the Conqueror is just too big for him. But John don't know nothing. We could get married, she tells John. The devil will kill us both, John tells her. Well, I got my 2 fastest horses. We'll go get them, the daughter says. When daddy's asleep, we'll just ride off. Then we'll marry. So that was the plan. Waiting until the devil is asleep. Midnight, they go out for the horses that belong to the devil. They get on and ride off. Daughter says, horses run on, 500-mile jump it. When it's morning, they are way far away from there. But so is the devil. He waked up. See, when they went out, seeing his daughter taking his favorite horses, and he has on his boots hip high. John, the devil's daughter, look back and see the devil is saying to the boots, "Step it, I say, high step it, make each step 500 miles." So the devil daddy is almost to him, and daughter don't know what to do. John the Conqueror says, "Don't know what to do, but we better hurry up and move." "Well, I thought of something now," she says. "You be a fox," she says to John. She turns herself into a pond of water with a duck on it swimming. And so John the Conqueror, big as anything, is an old gray fox. The fox is trying to get at the duck when the devil high steps by. Devil can't see it's them, just sees a gray fox trying to snap up a duck on the pond. The devil, he went on, but his legs are worn out, his feet hurt, and his boots are steaming. He has to get a big old animal, looks like a great big bull. "Come on," says the daughter to John. "He's gone back for his bull. We'll make some time up." So they hurried along. "Jump 500, says the girls to the horses. "Jump 1,000, 5,000, and so the horses did. Half a day later, she looks back. Who's coming? That's who. Devil coming on saying, you bull, jump it." She says, "My daddy is coming with his bull under him. He's riding hard." John tells her, "I don't know what to do about your devil daddy." So they were passing some thorny bushes and she tells him, "Reach me some thorns." So John does it. He hands a whole thorny bush over to her. She takes it from him and says, "Plant one thorn, plant all. Up thorns, make it 1,000, 500 miles long." That thorn hedge went on long, about forever. The devil coming up to the thorn hedge riding the biggest, reddest fire bull in hell. The bull couldn't get through the thorns. Devil says, "I'll go back and get my hatchet. I bet I'll get through then." So he went back. And he come back. And it took him hot summers and cold winters to cut through. That's what his daughters had built up, the thorn hedge. And by then, there wasn't a cent of nothing. No horses, no daughter, no big John the Conqueror. But they say John and the devil's daughter made it all right. The devil never caught him. They got married. Say they farmed all around and John and her make a good home. Had lots of children. Lived happily forever after. And that's all. The story of John the Conqueror and the Devil's Daughter is an excerpt read from The People Could Fly, American Black Folktales, told by Virginia Hamilton. Thanks for listening to the Hoodoo and Chill podcast. Be sure to follow and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a 5-star rating and let us know how much you enjoyed the show. As always, donations of love keep our podcast alive and give us the ability to enhance our content. Please use one of the donation links in the description to send a donation of love today. And we'll see you on the next episode of Hoodoo and Chill.